YouTube, Brian James at Micro Four Thirds Guy with you once again. Good to see you. And as you can see, I'm still away in the caravan. Well, I made an interesting video last week and I've actually taken it down for two reasons. One, because the message I was trying to get across, looking at people's comments, I was actually getting the opposite message across to them. So I apologise for misleading you on that one. So rather than get the wrong message across, I just took it down. But it did actually start a second reason for me taking it down. There was a thread started up on the comments and it wasn't up very long, the video itself, so I was surprised how quickly it happened. But there was a thread started off where one person made a comment about being an amateur photographer and just wanted to take snapshots, holiday photographs and things, but wanted a good camera to do it. And there was almost a tirade of people telling them that if they wanted to be an amateur and just take snapshots, then they didn't need a decent camera. Why were they going to spend the money on that? And it got a little bit personal at times between the posters. I kept out of the argument, but I realised fairly soon that it was getting out of hand, and I decided to pull the video altogether. So if you were one of those posters and you wonder where it went, that was the reason why. But it did start to prompt a bigger question in my mind as to why we are so hard, perhaps is the term, on people who just want to take photographs purely for fun. We all have these comments. You know, I've worked as a professional photographer in the past. I now work purely as a recreational photographer. I do the odd little job for family and friends and things, but that's about all. But we seem to have a real downer on somebody who says that they literally want to take photographs for the fun of taking photographs. And one of the things that came over badly in the video, I think, was my differentiation between being professional and being amateur. And the biggest problem I found is with being a professional photographer, I had very, very little input into what I did insofar as creativity. Now, I'd better tell you that what I did was mainly straightforward portrait shots, high volume shots as well, and also some corporate shots. And I've shot all sorts of things, from corporate things, from false teeth all the way through to big drying complexes and all sorts of things. It's very difficult to get rather arty when you're photographing false teeth. But also it's done. You tend to be working to somebody else's diktat. So they'll decide what the style that they want is. They'll decide what the quality and what the quantity of shots is. And you are pretty much going, although you can negotiate onto that and give your opinions and ideas on how to do a shoot very much, but you're very much going to somebody else's obligations, if you like, the obligations that you have to them and their outline of the job. As an amateur photographer, you've got 100% control of what you take. And I was looking at some of the comments, and there was one particular comment which really got to me, because they literally said, I want to go and take snapshots, but I don't want to do it on my iPhone. I want to have a decent camera to take snapshots because these are my memories. I thought, what a great little point that is. These are my memories. And that resonated with me somewhat. But as I realised when they said that and people snapped back at them and said, you should be doing this, you should be doing that, you should be doing the other, and you've got to do that. Oh, got to. When I saw the comment, you've got to do this, that was probably the breaking point for me, because when it comes to creating an image, I don't see how you've got to do anything unless you've agreed contractually to do that for someone. Now, when I was taking photographs of, industrial plants, for instance, there were certain things which they wanted in and certain ways they wanted to see it, because it was going onto their website or into their catalogue, and it was going to be something which was used to promote them. And although I would look at it and see a piece of machinery, they wouldn't know exactly what the key items which needed to be seen to be able to get their customers to buy it were and how they should be portrayed. And if I was going through an advertising agency on a company's behalf, the advertising agency would know exactly what they were after, a lot more than me. So the idea of specifying how it was going to be shot, and I have to do this, you've got to get this piece in, you've got to get it in this way, that's fair enough. But when I saw the word, you have got to shoot like this for somebody who's shooting for recreation, I thought that was the time to pull the video. Hi, while the other me is taking a breather in the background, I thought I'd take just a moment of your time to remind you to hit the subscribe button below. It costs you nothing, but it makes such a huge difference to the channel.
While you're down there, you'll find there's a small bell. That'll send you notifications whenever I upload a new video, but remember to tick the all box beside it. Down below in the comments, you will find that there's a link to a PayPal. If you want to leave me enough for a cup of coffee to help support the channel, that would be fantastic. Really appreciate it. And finally, give me a big thumbs up on this video, because that really does help the YouTube algorithms to spread the word far and wide. Anyway, back to Brian.
So is it okay to take snapshots? Even if you have a £2,000 camera, you know, you might have just gone out and bought yourself the new OM1, or you might buy yourself the new GH6, something like that, and whether it's for still photography or videos. Is it right that you should have to do professional shots on it only because you bought a professional level camera? And I really disagree with it. I don't think so. I think what the really good cameras do is give you lots of reliability. They give you a very stable platform to shoot from. They give you the ability to get good, consistent results of the photography style that you want. But I don't see anywhere in the instruction manuals for these cameras which says that you have to take a photograph in a certain way. In fact, I haven't seen that in any of the books that I've seen. I've seen them give good instruction on how you can achieve results. But there's always one way to skin a cat, as they used to say when I was younger. So my idea is, are we in a position where can we actually turn the concept of photography on its head, where instead of everybody striving for professionalism, that we can actually have some people who are striving to just enjoy their photography and stuff what the real techniques and real results are, so long as it gives a pleasing image to the person who took it and a pleasing image to the people that they show it to. And I think that's perfectly possible. In fact, not even perfectly possible, but I actually think that's probably the preferred way for the majority. Now, if you are a photographer, whether you are shooting at a very entry level or if you're shooting at a very advanced level, have a think about how many people you know who are photographers who actually are professional photographers. Now, I'm not about professionalism. Professionalism is a different thing. That's an attitude towards it. But some of the best photographers I know are not professional. And, you know, they may make a little bit of money from their photos, but it's not what they do as a full-time living. Or if they do it as a full-time living, they've come in through possibly the back door. There's very few of the photographers I know, the professional photographers, who started out as this vocation from day one. There are a few, and there's some very good ones. Some poor ones as well, actually. You don't have to be doing a lifetime to make good photographs. Now, one of the people I've been looking at who literally has just taken it on as a profession is a guy called Paul Thompson. And we were about format wars and things. We've discussed format wars on this channel a few times about micro four thirds versus full frames. Well, he's a landscape photographer, and I've got a huge amount of respect for him. I've known him since he was a youngster. And photography was not his chosen vocation in life. He's done a few different things. He's a good musician, which is another reason I know him. But I've known him since he was a youngster. And I've watched the guy really mature into somebody who's got some fantastic skills. Now, I don't normally promote channels very often, but you will find that I'll think I'll leave on the end credits of this. Keep on watching at the end, because the little end credits which come up, I'll stick a link onto his channel. He's been doing some fantastic stuff, and he's actually just gone to large format digital. Just bought himself, got rid of his Sony and gone on to Fuji. And the results that he gets are absolutely fantastic. Now, you could say that he's professional because he's only just really started going on to the fact that he's doing his YouTube channel and his photography as his income now. And it's been a big step. But generally, he's been a really enthusiastic amateur. A very talented enthusiastic amateur, but an enthusiastic amateur all the same. But he's taken that step there. His photography hasn't particularly changed. One day he's an amateur, the next day he's professional, but it doesn't mean that his photography has changed. And I'll tell you that he makes some fantastic landscape shots, but I bet he does a fantastic thing of taking the odd snapshot of his wife and family as well. You know, this is the truth of the matter. The majority of the photographs I take on my camera aren't professional shots. They're my granddaughter, my daughter, my son, my wife, whatever it is. I'll take family shots and family snapshots, and quite often it's not even on the most fantastic, expensive camera. It could be on my iPhone, it could be on the little GX8, it could be on my G9, it could be on my EM1 Mark II, whichever one it is. It could be with my expensive primes or my professional zooms. It could be with just the cheapest little lens that you get, the little kit lens. It makes no difference to me. I'm getting an image which is pleasing and does what I want it to do. Now, I'm not going to be selling those images of my family off to other people, but they're great for sticking them on Facebook or something like that, social media. And they're great just to keep as a memory. So when you look back through the album that you do, because I keep electronic albums now, and when I look back through those albums, it brings back the memories. So what do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Is someone who just takes snapshots a poor photographer? Because they may take 5 times as many photographs as a professional photographer and do 5 times as much with them. So as someone who's just in it to store memories and do snapshots, are they a poor photographer? Or can you really knock photography on its head by doing that? Or do you have to stick with the established thing and strive for perfection all the time and only display what you shoot as a professional shot? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to know what you think. However, I'm going to stop waffling now. This is Brian James at Micro Four Thirds Guy saying see you next time. I look forward to seeing you in the future. And watch out for my next few videos when I return home after the caravan trip. Till the next time, keep on taking your camera out. Keep on taking photographs, whether at professional or amateur level. Keep on enjoying your photography. See you later.